going to kick this to you first. Tell me which one for you. Custom programs to tinker with or simple preset modes? Tell me what you guys think in the chat here too, please. I'm interested to see what everybody says. I think this is a good one. This is a good question.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely important when you get a new machine or you haven't had, much time on a machine to go with the simple preset modes, especially if it's a quality machine and you've read and you've seen, you've talked to other people, and those simple preset modes are adequate and capable. There's nothing wrong. We're going to say the D word here today, but there's nothing wrong with a lot of those pre-manufactured DS2 preset programs. Nothing wrong with them at all. General program is a great program. It's the very first program that comes up. Deep HC is great. There's all kinds of other ones on there that are just great. Custom programs to tinker with. Well, I'm glad that I have a machine that I can do that.
Yeah.
If I need to. Some machines don't. You get what you got. I think that I was probably a little premature in tinkering with the custom programs because I could have probably spent years more in the preset modes and the preset programs, but I'm glad I did start tinkering around with some of those programs. Everyone's soil's different. Everyone's detecting is different. What they're looking for is different. Swing speed is different for your own personal, what you like to do. And so when you have customizable programs, sometimes you can mess with some of that to match your soil better, to match the type of hunting you do, the type of swing speed you use, and what you're looking for, just to help you out. Again, because the detector is just a tool, right? It's just a tool to give you the detector's information on what you're trying to find. And if the preset modes are doing great for you, go with those preset modes. There's nothing wrong with them. But if you can tweak and try it and you're like, oh, that just confused me more. Oh, like, I know the, what was it? F70 or the Patriot or had some customizable settings that you could turn up and down, and you'd be like, oh man, it's already a noisy machine and that just made it more noisy and I don't like that. So, okay, I'm going to back that off. I'm going back just to the preset, modes. And, but yeah, I think again, man, we're going to say this a lot. I think they both have their
Right.
pluses
Both have their
and minuses. That's right. Yeah. What do you think?
I've been reading the chat and listening to you, and my take on it is I love turning it on and going and having your preset mode already set. I find a lot of value in that, and I have not tinkered, not adjusted very much off of the basic modes that the machine comes with. But I will say I have changed some things to kind of customize it, and I found some things that I liked, and I found some stuff that I truly, honestly hated, and I end up falling back. And for myself, less is more, less changing, tweaking, adjustment, all those kind of things. Less is more for me. And that's what's worked for me. I've tried to change my audio because the Manicore is phenomenal with the range that it can provide you for audio. And I absolutely hate it. I went back down to the basic, I think 5 tones. Yeah. And that's where is my sweet spot. I know what that is. I know what it sounds like. Can you get really more technical and into it? Absolutely. And I'm sure I may like it more if I spend another 100 hours on forcing myself to use something different. But I'm almost a creature of habit, and not trying to get too far away from my comfort zone with it. And so some adjustments with sensitivity and those kind of different things I'll mess with, but I don't stray too far away from the custom preset modes of what the Manicore is telling me.
Yeah.
So, but to each their own. I mean, I 100% believe in it because I've seen you use custom programs and you kill it. I like what I like and what I know, and I try not to be unsettled because I'm always worried I'm gonna freaking miss something
Yeah.
if I try too hard. If I try to do this to the machine or I feel like I'm gonna miss something and I fall back to where I'm the most comfortable. And
Yeah.
that's not always a good thing for me.
Right. The Deus has so many stock programs automatically out of the gate with it,
Yeah.
and they all have different tone options. They all have different, all kinds of different things, iron audio, the whole thing. And you gotta keep, play with all of them. If you just got a Deus 2 in your hand for the first time, I say just go out to where you normally detect, play with all of them and see what sounds and makes more sense to you. Because some are going to be like, oh my gosh, that completely makes sense to me. And others are going to be like, that's just too friggin' confusing. You know what I mean? Like that's just those sounds, those tones. It's just it's not who I am. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I know that sounds silly because a machine is a machine, but when you have all this individuality of how you can set your machine up, you have so many options, and it's great to have a machine that can do that. I love the custom programs I've created. I
Mhm.
will still go back to general when we're on a new land
Right.
and hear what that's sounding like. I will go to deep HC and see what that's sounding like, but I'll usually switch over to my custom X-ray program that I created, and also another one from Gary that I have in there, and those are right next to each other. So, and when you turn on your machine, it's automatically right back at that custom program. Like it saves the custom programs, which is really convenient because then you don't have to mess
Mhm.
with everything. There was older machines that you could put custom programs in, but it would reset every time, and you'd have to go through and change all your
Right.
settings real quick.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I love those two custom programs because I use one as a more on off thing because I know it's not going to miss anything, but it's not
Right.
fine tuned enough that I would always just trust that to tell me it's a great target or not. And then with one push of the left arrow button, I go to my X-ray program that really tells me what it is and whether I want to dig it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I will say I'm gonna go back and revise my answer. There is something about going to a site that you've pounded and changing things up, and new things will appear because the machine is telling you something different if you do change those programs. So in terms of that, I could see more tinkering rather than just a preset run the whole time, because things change, and your machine changes as well of how it's reading all the targets and all that kind of stuff. So there is to me in my opinion some value then in also doing some heavy tinkering when you go back to a site that you've absolutely pounded before
yeah,
with the same machine.
yeah,
Because we're lucky now that we can, man, we can personalize these machines like no other now. It's insane. It's not one machine that's out the door with all the things that you can adjust on it. It's such a personalized machine, and the guy next to you, in addition to the inches and angles, might have something a little bit different. I remember when we hunted with Jeff Lubert,
yeah,
and he went to single frequency 40 kilohertz,
yeah,
and all of a sudden, on a site that we had pounded,
yeah. We were done
and
with.
he's pulling little things out that we didn't I mean, screaming targets that were tiny,
Yeah,
and, it was like, "Wow, okay, that changed." And we asked him right away, "What are you doing, Jeff?" "I just went to
yeah,
single frequency." Like, "Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that didn't even cross my mind to do that."
Right, right.
So, tinkering
Yeah,
has its place for sure.
it does. It does.